Hey everybody, my name is Jennifer. This is Metatron is speaking. I'm going to be doing the June 2023 energy update with all of you. Today is June 1st, so you'll probably see this tomorrow, June 2nd. So I'm getting this out a little bit later than usual, but I did the energy update in a different way this time. I wasn't feeling compelled to do my usual method of pulling oracle cards and reading messages from all of those. Um, Although we could do a little bit of that at the end, Metatron is telling me. What I did this time is that I just felt into it, which is a sense that I don't normally lead with. But this time I just wanted to feel the collective energies that are coming in June. And I got some really different and interesting information that came because I use this approach. So the first thing I felt when I felt into the energy is I felt high energy. I felt a lot of movement, a lot of change. And then after that, it started changing and I started feeling something different. So it was a secondary feeling and I felt indifference, kind of fatigued, kind of not a feeling of like not really caring. So, two different, almost contrasting energies is what I initially felt. And so these are going to be two dominant energies that we feel in June. So, one is kind of a high paced, fast paced, things are changing energy. And then coupled with that at other times, a slower, indifferent kind of feeling. So they showed me, and this is hard to explain, they showed me, it looks like a giant grid, right? Do you remember graph paper? Do you remember using that in like high school or junior high? And it's just a bunch of like perpendicular lines, and so it's just a bunch of squares all everywhere into infinity, every direction. That's how they show me, my guides show me time space as an object, is they will show me basically like this graph. It's not paper, it's just like the graph lines that go in every direction. And Metatron shows me like a stretching of time space in a certain spot of on Earth as Earth is raised out of her place on this graph. So, because Earth is in part of time space, right? Because we have the concept of time and space on Earth, but not on other planets and other universes. So, this graph that Earth is sitting in, I can see that because Earth is ascending upwards, it's creating some tension on the 3D time space that Earth is part of. And that's because, as I mentioned, Earth is slowly heading towards the fifth dimension. The stretching of time space will cause two opposite yet equal reactions in us and the world during June. The first is what I mentioned earlier, high energy, a lot of movement, a lot of change. It's shown to me like strong winds blowing through and displacing things. I see it like strong winds that are pulling up trees that have been rooted for years. So this isn't just like a gentle breeze. This is literally the winds of change. This is literally going to be uprooting things about our world, about our personal lives that we thought were solid, that we thought were a sure thing, that we thought were a tree growing in the ground. It's just being pulled out. These trees are beliefs we've had about ourselves, as well as the other things I mentioned. The second reaction you should expect in June is indifference. So, a kind of sluggishness or fatigue, not caring about what happens. If you give into these feelings, because the tendency is going to want for us to be in those feelings of indifference. If we give into those feelings, you will be like water that sits too long outside. Mold and slime start growing in it. Mosquitoes start breeding there. The water becomes contaminated and unsafe when it is stagnant. So the tendency in between these high movement periods is going to be for us to want to be still and stagnant. And it's kind of warning us against that. So I felt into the energy again, a third time. And here's what I say. It feels like something big is coming. Like I'm a little anxious because it feels like a huge boulder rolling towards me. And I want a moment to be able to get on top of this boulder before it rolls over me. Metatron says that energetically, something big is coming in June to humanity. I ask him to show me what's coming. And I see someone pick up the end of time space as if it were a blanket. It's because it's not stiff. It like bends and moves. It's very flexible. And so someone grabs the end, they lift it up and then down, and so up and then down, and it causes this ripple to roll across the fabric of time space. And it's like how I sensed it earlier, that something large is coming, this wave of energy that we need to get on top of, or else it's going to just roll over us. This is the result of Earth ascending within the time-space fabric and disturbing it. It's like a tsunami wave in time-space. The wave will feel like time slows down and energy is condensed within the space. The energy has a lot of entropy, which means the energy is chaotic, it's disorganized, it's messy. It may make us feel anxious, unfocused, irritable. He says we will begin to feel this wave around June 23rd. So it'll be June 23rd in the evening if you're in the US. It'll be June 24th if you're in Europe. And it's going to last about 2 days. So Metatron shows me something else. I keep feeling into the energy, and each time I feel in, he shows me something different. So now I feel into it, and I can feel my stomach kind of drop suddenly, like I've fallen down through a huge crack in the floor. He's showing me that everything has an equal and opposite reaction. So the counterbalance to the that time-space wave is basically there's going to be a bunch of small little valleys that make us feel like we're going down instead of going up. So in those times when we're hitting the dips, it will feel like time has sped up, and we will tend to be more detached from our bodies, more daydreaming, more calm, less action oriented. This will happen in several short spurts after the first wave passes around June 29th. So this is all at the very end of June that this should be taking place. I continued to feel into the energy, and what I got after this, I feel like, are messages for certain individuals. So if you feel like you resonate with what I'm saying, then this is for you. So the first one I got was, I have a feeling of isolation. I feel like I'm in a huge, endless room and I'm the only person, and I'm struggling with being alone. When I try to walk, it's like I'm walking through water in slow motion, and feel a bit anxious. And now I feel stagnant, like I have nowhere to go, like there's no path. This is the spiritual journey. Some of us feel very alone on this journey and feel like there is no clear path. You don't know what's right for you yet. If you feel like this, I recommend that you get a healing with Metatron service, which is something I offer on my website. Your chakras are out of alignment, and you need to get them realigned in order to feel confident and powerful and to be able to know what is right for you and to feel confident making decisions and choosing a path forward. So that was one of the things I felt into. Another feeling I felt into, there is a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach. I feel guilt and shame. I want to hide away. I want to isolate myself. I believe I'm too damaged to take part. I want to, but I feel like I'm not good enough. And I'm sorry for what I've done, but I feel like I can never outrun it. My heart hurts. I'm suffering from the judgment I'm passing on myself. I'm punishing myself. And no amount of remorse will undo this because I've already decided that it cannot be forgiven. So I'm stuck in this cycle of suffering. If you are stuck in a cycle like this, please consider getting an Akashic Records reading with me. This feeling of um, passing judgment on yourself and feeling that guilt, the root cause of it is something that's happened in a past life and it's blocking you now in your current life. So I just want you to make you aware that this is something that can be identified, it can be removed, it can be healed, and you can move forward from it in this lifetime. The next time that I felt into the energy, it feels like I'm in the spin cycle of a washing machine. I'm dizzy. Metatron is showing me memories of my life from being in my 20s, and I'm looking at them and I'm just feeling like, man, I just wasted time. He's showing me that during this month, for a lot of us, memories are going to come up where we are judging ourselves. And they're going to be coming up this month for us to clear them. So it's almost like the low vibrational energy is water, and we are the clothes in the washing machine that are all wet and we have all this low vibrational energy on us. And as we go into the spin cycle of the universe is spinning off that water or spinning off that low vibrational energy to clear it from us. And then I think I had just one more time that I felt into the energy. And in this one, I feel like I'm in the open ocean, but the water is not smooth and flat. The water is like really choppy. And so I keep bobbing up and down and I just really high up, really high down. And I'm afraid because I am not in control and I do not know what's coming next. I feel powerless. I feel like a victim. I'm fearful. The ocean pulls and pushes me. I cannot stop it, but I fight it. It's exhausting to fight things you can't stop. There are times that all of us believe that we can control an ocean. The circumstances of your life are an ocean. The circumstances move, the circumstances change. If you try moving with the waves, you can speed ahead. If you resist the waves, they are still waves, they're still coming, and you are exhausted and you haven't moved anywhere. When the circumstances of your life are moving and changing, the best thing you can do is to accept the changes, and that's represented here by waves. So move with the changes to get momentum. If you are angry or if you are unhappy that there is a wave of change coming in your life, that wave of change still comes regardless of how you feel about it. So if you're stuck being resistant to the fact that it's coming, you then aren't ready for that wave when it comes, and it can knock you back. See the changes in your life coming and adjust your approach so that you can still have momentum. So if you are ready for the wave and you can get on top of it as it comes to you, then you can ride that to shore. So use the changes in your life to your advantage. Find the ways that new circumstances can propel you in a better direction. So that is the message that I got there. He does want me to do cards. Okay, I'm going to stop the video. Because I didn't prepare for this. I'm going to grab, he wants one deck. He wants 9 cards from one deck. So I'm going to grab whatever deck it is he wants. We'll pull the 9 cards and we'll do that message. And then after that, I have crystals for you guys for the month. So hold on a second. Okay, everybody. Thank you for waiting. Haha. Although you guys didn't have to wait because I'm just going to cut this video. So this is, sorry, my face is itching because he is lined up with me, Mr. Metatron. This is the deck he wanted to use, the Shaman's Dream Oracle. So he said 9 cards. So I have the deck here. So hopefully they will kind of fly out at me. 1. And I'm assuming, no. Okay, I'll keep going. I'm assuming he will like group these maybe into 3s. He's saying yes, so that I can get basically 3 messages, 3 cards each. This one, no. This one, no. This one. that a yes or a no? That's a no. Okay, so I have 3 cards. Keep going. 'Cause it's 9, which is a ton. And then, like I said, I have monthly crystals for you guys for the month of June, and I really like the. Okay, hold on. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, now I have 6. I really like the crystals that he chose. And so I have like an obscene amount of example crystals because he chose crystals that I like. So I have a lot of different kinds. So I think it's just going to be fun just to show you guys some crystals because I just really love crystals. So if there's any excuse for me to show you guys one, then I'm all about that. Okay. This one? No. One more card. This one? Oops. Is it this one? Is it this one? Is it this one? All right. All right. We have 9 cards. So I'm going to put the deck down. I'm going to pull out the first 3 cards, and I'm going to show them to you guys first, and then I'll just stare at them like I do. Lost in space, needing direction. The wall, obstacles. Vanishing mirror, ego, sublimation. This seems like an interesting message. Okay. Okay. So I'm like going through my thoughts in my head, and then Metatron's like, yes, which means whatever I heard was correct. So, okay. So he's talking about right now. Yeah, he's saying all of us. So all of us in different ways. This may be obvious. This may be more subtle. All of us in different ways right now are coming up against obstacles that are stopping us. We need to take a different approach because we're coming up against this obstacle and we cannot overcome it. Might be small, might be big. So the problem is that our egos are blocking us. Our egos are keeping us from the understanding, from being able to see things clearly so that we can overcome the obstacle. So the ways the ego likes to stop us, ego likes to make us afraid. The ego does not like change. So the ego likes to keep the status quo. The ego is judgmental. The ego will make you doubt your intuition. The ego will make you doubt your psychic abilities. Your ego will tell you, oh, it's all in your head. You're crazy. It's just this one time. It's just a lucky hit. It's just, whatever. So, in order to do what this card is asking us to do, in order to destroy the ego, in order to overcome the ego, we need to be aware of it and we need to be willing We need to be willing to have we need to be willing to change because the ego is all about who we think we are, right? We have all our labels of who we think we are. And when you destroy the mirror, it changes who you think you are in a way because you have these nice little neat labels that y- you have this job and you're this gender and you're this race and this is what you like and these are your hobbies. This is what you're known for. This is your personality. But we are way more than what we are labeling ourselves as. We are everything. So we're going to have to challenge the view of ourselves and we're going to have to be comfortable letting go of the current views of ourselves in order to allow ourselves to change and be everything and not just the labels we've given ourselves so that we can conquer the ego, so that we can overcome obstacles and have the right direction. Next three cards. Hollow bone. What does that say at the bottom? Teachability. Hmm. I haven't seen this card before. Deep, quiet meditation and stillness. Deep diver diving into a task. Okay. For this one, he's focusing, and I hate to say this because I am so guilty of not doing this. He's talking about meditation. He's talking about stillness. He's talking about quiet time. You want to really, really, truly grow in your spiritual journey, in your understanding of all that is, and your understanding of yourself. The deepest dive you can take is to shut out the noise of the world and tune into yourself because within you is everything that's ever existed, that ever will exist. It's that my face is itching. I don't understand why it works this way, but everything that's ever existed out there in the cosmos is also within us, contained within us to access that information. Same way I can access past lives or feel into energy of the future. Everything is within us. So if you want to deep dive into knowledge, you want to be taught, if you want to learn, and seek quiet to get the deep answers, to get the intense knowledge of yourself and of the world. It is there for everyone to access if they so choose to commit to it. All right, last set of three cards, and then we're on to crystals. All right. He gives me this card a lot, always with a different meaning. A tidy house, clarity and organization. Oh, Beloved. Radical acceptance. Oh no, he gave this to me once before. Woodwives. Adaptability. Gosh, and some one of you was so kind as to comment last time about what woodwives were, and I can't remember right now to save my life because my memory is like, all right, let's see what might be coming up here. I swear this card always throws me off. I don't know why. It's the hardest card and he's given it to me. This is the third time he's given it to me. I know on this one he's talking about adaptability, which is kind of what we were talking about earlier with the waves. Okay. He is going back to that. Remember how earlier we were talking about kind of the waves of energy coming and kind of like planning for them and adapting to the fact that you know they're coming and so you get on top of them so you can ride them instead of being smashed by them. So he's referencing that. So this card then is referencing kind of organization and planning and adapting to the changes that are coming. Oh gosh. Look at this card, radical acceptance, acceptance of the changes that are coming. I didn't see that coming at all. The other thing that's really notable about this card, so this is just something I've noticed in working with Metatron. So Metatron and several of Metatron's incarnations, not all of them, but several of Metatron's incarnations and also Creator have used the word beloved with me. Like that's almost, oh, sorry guys, I'm like touching my microphone. That's almost like their preferred pet name for people. I don't know. So whenever I see the word beloved, I'm always like Metatron, Creator, because that's his like their endearing term that they use with people. So it's like, see the heart? It's like beloved. This is a very compassionate message. Beloved, the changes are coming. Accept them, prepare for them, adapt to them. Don't like messages about change any more than any of you guys like it, but the energy for this month was real choppy. It was real all over the place. So I expect us to kind of feel kind of pushed around a little bit. Um, but if we have that mindset going into it, don't be rigid. Don't be like, I have to resist all these changes. If you do that, you're gonna feel like you're being smacked around by the waves. If you kind of just think, be like a jellyfish, okay? Think wiggly, think squishy, and then just kind of flow with it and let it let it pass. Because unfortunately, we're gonna have lots of times like this where the energy is just not the thing we want to be experiencing, but because of this time that we've incarnated, this is what it is. This is what we get. It's just session after session of trauma release and energies that are bringing in change because that's what we came for. We came during a transition time. We came to help with the transition and we are going to get there and we are going to do this together and we are going to do this with our crystals. Let me show you some of these crystals. If you remotely like crystals, this is a happy day for you. Um I don't know where to start because I'm so happy. Okay, let me see if Metatron will help me because I think he probably. Do you want message? Okay, he's saying no. There's no messages with these. He just is recommending these for support during this time. So clear quartz is one of the ones he's recommending. Oh my gosh, I love quartz. Any kind of quartz. I love quartz. So I have lots of examples. Let me reach over here. So one of them I wanted to show you is this. This is just like a cluster of quartz. And so I wanted to show you this because I always harp on everybody about buying crystals that are still attached to their matrix. There's not a ton of matrix here, to be honest, but anytime you buy a cluster, it's got a little bit more potency and energy than if you buy like just a single point. So this is one example. I'm sorry, I have multiple examples. Sorry, not sorry. I'm really not sorry. Um, this is a quartz point. So you'll notice it is clear, but within the clearness, you can see it's got white in there, it's got green in there, and it's got a little bit of red in there. And so this is a super magical crystal. So this is just a clear quartz with, I forget what they call it. They call it like shaman quartz or garden quartz or lodolite. Lodolite. Um, and if you want to do anything magical, if you want to work with Merlin and crystals, whoo, this is the guy you want. I just like to advertise him just because he's fun. And then my other example is another clear quartz that has been cut into an icosahedron. I know. So it's just fun because it's whatever, it's sparkly. Okay, so that's my clear quartz for you. So in that same thread of clear quartz, by the way, quartz is the healer crystal, it is the amplifier crystal. Um, there, there's so many uses for quartz. So for you to find a piece that you love and to keep that with you, to put it in your purse or under your pillow or hold it when you meditate, it can only bring good things to you. So this is, sorry for the shiny card. So this is the next one I pulled, and holy cow, this is actually my favorite kind of quartz. Lemurian quartz. Lemurian quartz has these lines, these striations on it. Um, and Lemurian quartz, they're from Lemuria, which is why they are called Lemurian quartz. They are encoded with information, which at some point, when we reach a high enough vibration, we'll begin to have access to that information that was coded on these. So here's my here's my example. I don't know if you can see the lines in it. I think you can. So that's a clear quartz. Here is a Lemurian quartz that is, you can call it a pink one. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Some people call it a scarlet temple quartz. It's got hematite inclusion, which gives it that beautiful color. There's also Lemurian quartz that come in a smoky variety, so different amounts of the smoky color. And there are some that come in, I don't know, this one's a little bit smoky, but it's also a little bit golden, as you can see. And so it's got those lines. So these guys come in all different colors, points, clusters, and they are just magical as heck. So if you can find them, get them. third crystal that's being recommended. I don't know how you pronounce this. I always pronounce it epido, but I feel like maybe it's epidot. I don't know. At any rate, it's this green colored crystal. And the only example I have of it is this slightly smoky quartz that has these pieces of the epidote in it. So the cool thing about this, it's kind of fans out. Cool thing about this is anytime you have a crystal that's growing within a quartz, it just amplifies the heck out of whatever is growing in it, whether it's like a black tourmaline or this epido or epidot, however you pronounce it. So it's always a good thing. Another useful crystal for this month, which probably a lot of you have, amethyst. Amethyst is one of those all around amazing crystals that you can never have too much of it. If you love anything of a magical nature, Merlin and Metatron are so on board with amethyst. So let me show you some examples. So this is kind of the standard example, right? Everyone has like the amethyst crystal cluster. But I want to show you some more unique examples of amethyst. So I want to show you this example that's a little bit different. So still purple amethyst, but this is kind of in the wand or point form. Very magical. Merlin is a fan of these. So I have a couple of those. I want to show you some different colors. A lot of people don't realize that amethyst comes in colors other than purple. So one of the colors that amethyst comes in, other than purple, is green. And when it's green, you can either call it green amethyst or you can call it praesiolite. Praesiolite. So here's a green point. So it has very similar qualities to amethyst, but it's more targeted towards green energy, which is like your heart chakra instead of your crown chakra. And here's another example of green amethyst, but it's just in a palm stone. So it's just a different shape and it's been polished. Another color of amethyst, and this was just recently discovered. So this is pink amethyst. It's a little tiny geode, part of a geode. And so don't quote me on this, but I believe this was discovered in Argentina, and I want to say maybe 2019. So this is a very recent discovery. So we're still figuring out kind of all the uses for this. But amethyst is such an amazing crystal to have. So anytime you can get any color of it, it's going to be amazing. And so I'm so excited anytime anything new is discovered. I really hope that there's a time when, they find yellow amethyst and they find blue amethyst and they just find all the colors because, oof, I'm a fan of it. So it can come in different colors. Last stone, last stone of the day. This is a really good stone to have for anything magical. I felt like there was a lot of magical choices here in these crystals this month. So this is moonstone. So the one they're showing you is kind of the traditional moonstone. And so I have 3 examples for you because there are different kinds of moonstone, and I'm sure I don't have all possible examples either. So this is a cube. You can see the little blue sheen on there ever so slightly. So, but this is the kind of the standard moonstone. There's also, oh gosh, this is so small. I don't know. Oh yeah, you guys can see it. This is rainbow moonstone. So this is a teardrop shape, and but you could see the sheen on it is not just blue. It's all the colors of the rainbow. So this is a rainbow moonstone. And then my last example is this is a gar gar garnierite. I'm probably saying it wrong. Garnierite. So it's considered a green moonstone. So it is, and it'll be really hard for me to show the sheen on this guy wherever it is. I don't, yeah, I probably won't be able to get it for you guys on here. But basically, it's a moonstone that also has other minerals combined with it to give it that green color. But there are places on here that have the blue sheen just like a moonstone. So yeah, so this one is called green moonstone or garnierite. So those are all the crystals that I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed the June energy update, and I have a whole bunch more videos coming out for you guys. So I hope you look forward to seeing those, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.